Libertines, Time for Heroes, and XFM 104.9. Right, okay, so have you got anything that is science, as opposed to nonsense?
Well,
Kid went off with some monkeys, grew hair, came back, shaved him, it didn't grow back. I mean, just think. Right, something else.
There's a few things I found.
Yeah.
There's a fella...
Oh, God.
Who had hiccups for 69 years. That was a bit annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the dog with the wig that we've discussed.
Imagine if you just tuned in.
Yeah.
There's the dog with the wig that we've already discussed.
Did we discuss that?
Not really.
Did I not tell you what he said? I did, didn't I? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What else have I got? Well, there's something here that you sort of know.
Is this going out live?
Yeah, this is happening, right?
Oh, go on.
But remember when you talked about sponges?
Yeah.
If you get a red sponge and a blue sponge.
You liquidise them, pour them back into a tank. After a few hours, they know which was which, and they reform as a red sponge and a blue sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird when you told me.
Yeah.
Looked it up, did a bit of research.
Yeah.
Thought that's sort of sciencey.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with a mouse's brain.
Okay. Explain a bit more?
No, you can't.
If you get a dead mouse,
Yep.
put its brain into a blender, blend it up, leave it standing for a bit.
Making that up, aren't you? You're confusing this. You watch Nigella Lawson make some sort of pudding.
No.
What do you mean? It won't work with the brain.
Well, it does with I mean, not human brain. Don't be trying that.
Although...
But, no, a mouse one. A mouse one.
And what happens?
It sort of reforms. Goes back together again. No, it's because apparently it's made up of the same stuff as...
But it doesn't, does it? Because if it's dead, if it's a dead brain, the cells can't act anyway. The fact the sponge is that it doesn't kill the cells, it liquidises them, it doesn't kill the cells. Yeah. So it couldn't be a dead brain anyway. It would have to be a live brain taken out from a live mouse for the cells to be getting oxygen and working and being sensitive to each other. And that, I don't see how that could work like it does in sponges.
I mean, do you know what I mean?
You're not a scientist.
I've just sort of read it and gone, oh, that's interesting, I'll tell Ricky and Steve about it.
Yeah.
You're quizzing me as if I've come up with it.
No.
It's someone else has done it and said it works.
Sure.
So I'm not...
Do you think ghosts are behind it, or do you think there's a scientific explanation for it?
No, it's just one of them weird things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what you sort of science covered for this week.
Well, that was another barnstorming feature.
Is that it? Is that the two things you got this week?
Thanks very much for that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
there's nothing behind them. Do you know what I mean by this? There's not like a weight of intellect behind these facts.
Why don't you make that your science project for this week? Find a dead mouse somewhere, Carl, and a blender, and we'll bring that in next week. We'll do it live on air. See what happens.
Oh. Do you feel sort of let down a little bit sometimes with our reactions?
Well, what are you expecting us to do? What are you expecting us to just like look at you, open-mouthed, staring at you in awe?
Just like, oh God, yeah, where did you find that out? And like,
yeah, but we know.
Tell us.
We know where you found it out. You looked on the internet and a strange homemade website by a maniac somewhere, who puts on stupid things that he heard through Chinese whispers. That's where you get your information from. I doubt that anything you've ever come up with is verified. If it is, it's luck.
But what do you expect me to do for you? Do you know what I mean? I'm just...
You know, I'd like to know what the source of the information is. I'd like it to be, a research study by the University of Columbia, rather than, a guy who calls himself Mr. Pickles. On a website somewhere. www.lunatics.com.
I mean, oh God.
Some kind of evidence, do you know what I mean?
I must warn you now, you know that Steven Spielberg thing's coming, Taken? Yeah? About alien abduction. When you watch it, just remember this, it's not a documentary. Okay?
Alright.
Alright?
You remember E.T.? We were discussing that earlier. You know that's not fact. Fact or fact.
Brilliant. Black Star Radiohead from the Bends on XFM 104.9.
Rick John has emailed in.
Yeah.
It looks here like he's maybe trawled the web himself. I mean, I don't know if people just immediately leap onto the web every time Carl says something in his defence.
I think our listeners are always on the web.
Yeah. Anyway, he seems like he's reprinted here a news story which seems to confirm Karl's monkey boy story.
Yeah, what was the news
Doctors
story?
baffled by boy 6 covered in ape-like hair. Doctors in Kazakhstan are baffled after finding a 6-year-old boy covered in ape-like hair.
Yeah.
The boy, called Ablay, was found in a remote mountain village close to the Chinese border. He's covered in thick hair from head to toe and has an oval-shaped skull. Doctors suspect nuclear radiation or a genetic disorder may be responsible.
Fine.
But there's an interesting bit here.
But sorry, it's not that you could have genetic defects. I've seen lots of people born with long noses, 5 feet, etc. I'm saying
You've
that
been
he
to
wasn't
Bristol,
normal. he wasn't normal, and then went to live with monkeys and grew the hair.
Well,
That's
no,
my
true.
point.
But it says his mother and father are distant relatives. Such marriages are common in the Kazakhstan mountain hamlets. Now, the village elders were consulted as to what to do with him, right? Now, these are the village elders, these are the wise men of the village. These are people, presumably, that all year long are telling the village how to live, how to survive.
Yeah, you're
what
in
to
charge
do.
because you've lived longest.
Yeah, exactly. You presumably are solving any kind of moral conundrums,
Yeah.
any sort of awkward things. Do you know what they suggested that they do with their hairy son?
Go on.
Send him to the circus.
The Carl's nodding.
Put him in the circus. That was what they suggested, and the mother actually wanted him to go to school.
Instead of I
instead
don't
of
know,
the
school or circus, I don't know. We don't know what's better for him.
Exactly.
I'm not sure.
We must consult the elders.
What do you think, Carl?
It's not a bad life, is it?
What, the circus?
Yeah.
Well, you ran
Kids
away
will
from
love
it.
Yeah.
Love it. But remember that thing that I saw about that fella who, I don't know if we should talk about it really, it's a bit...
Go on. Tell us now. You hooked me. Come on. You can say it. It's okay. What, are you worried that it might be insulting to someone?
Well, it's not nice, but...
Well, you're not taking the mickey out of it. You're telling us... Go on.
It's just, it was in that book again that you got me. You know, the book full of weird people.
Go on.
And things that are wrong with them, and hairy people, and
Yeah.
lad with 3 legs and that. There's a fella, basically just a head and a little body on a skateboard.
Yeah.
Right? Picture of him having a shave. And he was shaving with his mouth bit.
With his tongue.
Like that on the radio.
Yeah.
Just like-
Carl is now doing an impression of a man shaving with his
Yeah.
mouth.
Well, it's just a head, bear in mind. He's doing an impression. Imagine a head with a very tiny body on a skateboard shaving with its tongue. That's what Carl was doing.
And he was depressed because he kept getting hats for Christmas.
But if you were him, you would just grow a beard, wouldn't you, rather than...
Oh,
Well, rather than go through all
But you
that
get it
hassle.
caught in the wheels of his skateboard.
Clash. Rock the Casbah on XFM 104.9. Nearly it. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
So the answers to this week's Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us the clues again and the answers?
Yeah. The first one was, don't argue with him, he ain't going to change his mind. The initials there were AA. That's adamant. Adamant.
Yeah.
Alright?
That's good. That's
That's a
good.
good one. Second one, he always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. That was P. That was Pixies.
Picks his, it kind of works, yeah.
And the third one,
I'll let you have that one.
I'll have to put that woman in an oven. That was AB. That was Anita Baker.
Anita Baker.
It's good.
Anita Baker.
Anita
Yeah,
Baker.
I'll let you have all 3 today.
So
You've done well.
So do you want to pick a winner, Steve?
Well done to Mark Leder from Bow. He wins those fairly mediocre prizes. Enjoy them.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, well, we've had a few laughs.
We've had a few laughs, a few tears, a few scientific breakthroughs.
Exactly.
Got to get a picture of Carl somewhere in the national press, just his little round head there.
There's an email here. Carl is trying to distract attention from the fact that he is a monkey raised among humans and horses and has failed to develop hair.
It's, I can just imagine him being the second cleverest in a troop of monkeys. You know what I mean?
Second cleverest.
You know what I mean? So,
Picking fleas out there.
oh, look at his little face. I'll tell you what, Heat, I'm gonna get a picture of you. Just put it in the radio section of Heat. This is what Carl looks like.
Oh, another email. Someone said, when the monkey boy went to the shops, he was naked. Where did he keep his money?
Good point. Didn't happen then.
Right. Well,
Oh.
So that's that. We didn't even do all.
What do you mean?
We didn't get round to ritual.
Oh, come on, give us
No, we
ritual.
haven't really
We
got
have,
time.
quickly.
No,
We have got time, just do it. Why haven't we got time? It's 10-2.
Right. Well, we've got a long track to finish on.
Well, just do it.
It's.
Do
Are you
it!
familiar with the place called
go on.
Easter Island?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what they do out there?
Eat eggs. I don't know.
Well,
Go
that's
on.
close.
Go on.
Right. What they do, right, there's there's a lot of people living on an island,
Yeah. Easter Island?
and to find out who's going to be running the place, they
don't hold elections, do they?
they have these birds that lay like expensive eggs on an island.
Expensive eggs! They like expensive eggs.
Fabergé eggs.
Yeah, yeah, go on.
On this island,
Yeah. Easter
once
Island?
a year, once a year. No, off it, like about 2 miles out.
Oh, yeah.
And
Whitsun
and
Island.
the sea.
True Tuesday.
Yeah, Pancake
We're running
Island.
out of time.
Tell us!
No, Steve, we'll play us-
No! Tell us! Right, finish it now.
Next
You
week.
don't you dare! I'll
see you later.
Johnny Mitchell.
You.
Blue Motel Room from the album Nigeria. It's the song
God.
that this week.
But then you've got to make sure you try and get a job, and school was sort of saying...
So 15 now.
But hang on, why did Twiggies? Why did you stop going down Twiggies?
Well, it was shut, wasn't it?
Amazing.
Oh, it closed down.
Closed down, it had a load of toilet rolls in there. It'd been turned into like a storage unit. I've never really had like a dream. I've just bumbled along. Because, like I've said, it's that thing of
Clackered,
sort of...
Limsey. It's like, call my fucking bluff.
There's no point sort of wishing for too much, because if you don't get it, you'll be fed up. So it's better just to sort of go, well, let's see what's around the corner. This is what I've said to you about a sat-nav system.
Right.
Isn't it? It's the same thing. Yeah, sure, have the sat-nav, type in where you want to go, and it'll take you straight there. But what I say is, use the back streets. Have a look around, turn off, don't go straight ahead, turn right. The little dead ends.
Yeah.
Have a
Well, you
look.
might get mugged.
Have a look.
Don't go down the dead ends.
Why not?
You've got to reverse back
There's
out.
nothing there. Dead end.
No, but have a look.
Well, there's nothing there. It's dead end.
Well, what's the road doing there then?
Well, it's a dead end. There's
Yeah, but
dead
there must be
ends.
something down there.
There's nothing. It's dead. It's just ends.
Just a wall.
Right, so it's not a problem. Reverse.
Well, don't go down in the first place if you know it's a dead end. Don't tell people to go down a dead end. They've got to reverse out. Difficult.
Well, I'd say just have a look. You see, that's the difference between me and you. I'd have a look down the dead
It's
end.
dead end. No, don't worry. It's
What's
dead
down
end.
there?
Dead nothing, mate. It's dead end.
Rubbish? Just
Yeah, no,
rubbish?
nothing. Dead
Nothing
end.
at all?
Yeah, no, put going there. Dead end.
Right, so I'll go, well, I'll just have a look for myself because I don't believe you.
Okay, well, go on then.
Right, I'll have a look.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this I found.
What have you found?
Box of money that you didn't know about. All I'm saying is it could be
He has
anything.
still got the brain of a 10-year-old, hasn't he?
of money.
He's still got the brain of a 10-year-old.
I'm just, set your stall out.
Right. So where's the store? Where are you setting the store? Not in the dead end.
Dead end, 'cause there's no through traffic.
thoroughfare. Yeah, you want to be on
This
a
is
sort of
crazy.
public highway. Where are you setting the stall out? What are you selling? What are you selling?
Well, this is what I'm saying to you.
What are you selling
I'm
first?
selling a mixture of stuff.
What? Like what?
All sorts.
What have you bought it with? A bag of money you found in the dead end?
Leg warmers.
Right, you got new leg warmers with do you want cufflinks with them? What? Do you want cufflinks with them leg warmers? Well, no. Why would I do that? Well, you got to fucking look smart, ain't you, cunt?
So you're selling, what are you selling?
So,
Yeah.
you set your stall out.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
Yes.
isn't it dangerous to sell all the same product in that shop?
Right.
Okay,
I don't know what you're talking
where's the
about.
analogy going? This is
Yeah.
a metaphor. I think it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Or simile. It's a
What,
Yeah,
what are you selling? What are you selling first? Bang.
No,
2,
hang
3,
on.
4.
No, but
Quick,
this is
it's
what
the
I'm saying
apprentice.
to you. This is what I'm saying
Go
to you,
on.
though. I
Right.
just said to you,
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you wanted to do. You haven't told me.
Right.
I'm
Do you want me
saying.
to tell you what I wanted to do when I wanted to be... Well, at 5 years old, I wanted to own a sweet shop until my mum said, you know, you got to buy the sweets first. Right. From 10, I wanted to be like a scientist. 15, a vet kicked in.
But at
Carry
some
on.
point you jettisoned all of that to try and pursue a pop career.
20, I wanted to be a pop star. 25, I thought I'd better get a job.
Well,
At 30, I did.
me saying turn off the main road and do a right
Yes.
is saying just have a look around in the same way that if you go into a
It's a
shop.
metaphor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
In the same way that if you go into a shop, you're thinking I'm getting a quarter of bonbons.
Right, bombs. Bombs.
Well, by the time you get to the counter,
You're clackered.
and you get some licorice all sorts instead because you thought, actually, I forgot about them.
Sorry, no, this isn't a metaphor, is it? This is a real shop now, isn't it?
I just mean you're gonna be let down. You're gonna be very, very disappointed with life if you know
But I haven't been disappointed with that.
If what? If what?
the thing you're aiming for
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
But what if it does happen? I'd like to take issue with this because there's a lot of young people who listen to our podcasts, and if they listen to this tripe that if you try for something in life it won't happen, so don't bother, I think it's a bloody disgrace. Imagine if Leona Lewis had thought that when she went on the bloody X Factor, she wouldn't have got punched by that bloke in that. Alright, that doesn't make sense. But you know what I mean. She would not be living her dreams.
Yeah, but we don't know what Leona wanted to do. She might
She
have
wanted
had
to
a
be a
backup
singer.
plan.
That's why she's done it.
She might have had a backup plan.
Yeah, but she fulfilled the main ambition, which was to sing. That's why she went on the show. She didn't go in there because she thought I might want to work down a branch of Waterstones.
You think she went in there and said, quarter bomb, she's like, oh, this is, X Factor, but she went, oh, go on then.
Well, I was saying.
Well, what about the girl who looked like a fat baby? She went on there with a dream. It's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah!
But the point is, I'm not saying you all have to go on the X Factor if you're a hopeless idiot. I'm saying if you've got a little bit of talent and you pursue it, it might take you somewhere. If you want to be a vet or a doctor or pop star, you might have a chance. You may as well have a stab for it than say, no, it's alright, I'll just sit around in my underpants.
Yeah, they're doing a new one, the X-ray Factor, where you can actually, become a top radiologist.
But I've said this for an idea. I think they should do that. Because how many singers do we need in the world? You see, that's the thing. We're talking about the future. Yeah. I think we're not going to talk anymore. I think it's going to be like living in an opera. The way things are going on now, everyone wants to sing.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you did a TV programme to try and get a doctor,
X-ray Factor.
It's all about, getting in young kids, do live surgery. There's big queues anyway. People are queuing up to have operations done. Yeah. So you say, look, Hilda, you have got a problem with your left bunion. You can either wait for your proper doctor and hospital, but it's going to be a 2-year waiting list.
Or you can have Jedward do it for you.
Are you free Saturday night, live?
Because we've got 2 17-year-olds who are going to do it.
Hilda! She comes out. They
sort a little voice. I've never heard him do a little voice before.
So
okay. So this is what is this? This is a talent show where people can have a go at being a doctor.
Yeah.
Right, well, this is like something from the Middle Ages.
But they need volunteers who would rather have an apprentice, someone have a go.
Well, it's not even an apprentice, it's someone with no training at all.
Yeah.
They learn how to do major operations in a week.
But no, not major ones, that's for the final. You do
of course, you've got to build up to that, sure.
But you're building
up transplant for the final.
So anyway, so it's Hilda, and Hilda's not the person, she's not operating, she's just the person who needs a bunion removed.
She's the foot problem, yeah.
So she comes in, they have a quick chat with her.
Have a chat with her, how's your life been? Bit of Coldplay under her. She's going, oh, it's terrible, I can hardly walk and all that, and they go, right.
Here's a fowl who looks like a baby.
And then...
And you think this is you don't see any problems with this so far? You've not identified any concerns yet?
If it means you get younger people into other jobs other than singing...
I agree with you. I think it's crazy that everyone now just wants to be famous, a singer or something, and we don't need them. They're just contriving it. All they're doing is knocking the last one off the top #1 spot. It's just a factory.
But I'm not talking about everyone should try and be a singer, am I? What I'm saying is sometimes you're allowed to pursue your dreams. And they might be, you may fulfil those dreams. There's nothing wrong with that. It may be that you want to operate on a woman called Hilda or a bunion. Pursue that dream. But according to your negative views, we shouldn't even try and do that either.
What I'm saying is...
Go on. What's he saying?
Leona was an example. I'm not saying everyone should try and be like Leona.
No, but
listen to his point, Stephen, because he's got a very good point coming up.
Here it comes. This is it.
Okay. He hasn't said a normal word yet, but he's going to say some now, and they're all going to be profound.
People's dreams aren't their own dreams.
Oh, hold on. What do you mean by that?
Okay, keep going. No. He'll explain. You don't need to ask any questions. He'll explain.
Because they think they know what they want because they see it on the telly. They see, someone singing a song and they go, I want to do that. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, change the dreams. Change the dreams.
Yeah.
Surgery. They're watching that. They're seeing Hilda happy with a better foot. The doctor's getting all the praise. They go, I want a bit of that action. That's what it's about. They don't want to be singers. They want to be known. They want to be famous.
Yeah.
So, fine, have a bit of fame, but do some good. Fix Hilda's foot.
Sorry, was that the end of the point?
Yeah, because all we've done, we've changed the dreams. Dreams are...
Well, you've hit on a good point there, because what is astounding is that when people are inundated with praise for people who are just clothes horses. They are just skinny nobodies who don't do anything except have their picture taken, and they're role models for, I'm not talking about, anyone in particular, but it's just these people who, want to be seen with other celebrities and marry celebrities and be a celebrity. People think that's an easy life because they're getting rewarded for it. And yet, someone who's stuck in a laboratory trying to come up with a cure for AIDS, they don't know or care about them. And
okay, can I just point out though that if we're going to have a go at people being successful, making money, and being well known for doing nothing of any value, I point you to the man sat opposite me here.
And that's, I tell you, there's times when I, lie awake at night, thinking, what was my dreams?
Yeah, but
I'd love to be a little
I've got
doctor.
a new boiler.
Hold on.
And 2 houses.
I'd love to be a little doctor.
Yeah, I mean, it's past me now. There's no way I can go back.
Well,
But it would have been brilliant.
you're wrong. Karl Pilkington!
Hilda!
What is it? What now, Hilda? What's up with you? I've got terrible piles. There's some sort of blockage up there. I haven't gone to the haven't gone to the toilet for a week. Well, Karl, can you unblock Hilda's arse? Now live, unblocking Hilda's arse. Karl Pilkington.
I thought she had bad feet.
No, her feet. No, Jedward fixed her feet. There's a lovely job. That's why they stayed in last week. Her arse is worse than her feet. It's because she's been off her feet for so long, because she couldn't walk. Her arse took the brunt of it, and it's just terrible. Piles have burst, and it's blocked up there where all she just eats is cheese because she's so depressed.
I'd probably knock it on the head there.
Why?
I'd just say, like going back to the street thing, I've gone down the wrong avenue. I go, this isn't for me. I didn't know I'd be, eye to eye with this.
What's that?
It's not for me, and that's how you find out that it's not for you, by doing it.
Right.
But at least I gave it a go.
So this the same as you had one fight with Leroy, you went along to a dance studio, it was shut, you've seen Hilda's arse, and it's turned you off the proctology.
Once again, you've just abandoned it.
Yeah, well, there's
Have
no
a
point.
go! Have a go! Just feel inside Hilda's back passage. Feel the blockage. Right.
No, because the audience have already decided. They've seen a weakness in me. They're going to vote me out.
No,
There's no point me getting dirty fingers for this.
But it's funny as well because you had 2 names. I just remembered. I started off as Dazzling Darren's Disco, just because the first lights I could afford belonged to someone who had their name put in lights.
Right.
So I went along with
You
that
had
name
to
for a bit.
pretend you were called Darren.
That's lovely.
That's great.
Is it worth it?
Brilliant.
And then it went on to Pilkins making music.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's great.
Anyway, should we have some more music? 'Cause,
Yeah,
we've
go
been
on.
waiting for
What
hours.
are you going to play, Karl?
We've got the Cooper Temple Claws
Oh,
lined up.
brilliant.
Yes, Steve Merchant here.
Merchant.
Steve Merchant.
Yeah, okay, don't keep saying it.
And Carl, obviously, yeah.
Now,
Stop fiddling, Carl.
We've been digging around in Karl's office, haven't we?
As ever, Rick.
He's a little bit nervous about this,
Well,
but he doesn't need to be.
I don't think he is.
You just need to
because-
trust us, Karl. Just trust us. Trust us with the music. Trust us with the speech output. Trust us with the... That's easy for me to say. Yeah.
But I'm conscious, Rick, that sometimes perhaps we're a little ill-prepared on
Sure.
the show, and I just wanted to make sure that we were sort of keeping ourselves abreast of developments, changes at the station, policy.
You said breast.
Thanks. Policies particularly, and I was lucky enough just to stumble across this, and I feel that actually a couple of weeks back we were a little ill-prepared because we
Yeah.
hadn't read this.
Yeah.
This is the XFM information. It's the guidelines, if you will.
Sure.
On how to react to deaths, disasters, and other news emergencies.
Yeah, and there's very important ones like
Important
a royal
policies.
death. There's like,
Well, there's certain criteria. I mean, obviously, the general guidelines state that occasionally something will happen in the world that prompts XFM to break away from the normal programming and react to our audience's feelings of shock or grief. As broadcasters, we have a duty to think
They're not
carefully
talking about our show there, are they? They're talking about something happening
No,
there.
all shows.
I mean, no, like people being caused grief, just Karl's on the air.
Right.
You mean like,
I mean, a bigger event.
royal
yeah.
dying.
A royal dying or some kind of, major disaster.
Sure.
We should be able to tailor our output to show that we feel the same way as the audience in these times of trouble.
No, definitely.
That would never involve the station shutting down completely, Rick.
No.
I want to reassure you of that
Yeah.
now. And it would never involve playing classical music or stopping all speech content.
Sure. Because they put that in there because a lot of stations, that's exactly what they do.
Exactly.
But
wouldn't happen
XFM have deemed it that we don't have to go completely down the line there. We have
Well,
to do it in
let me
our own
explain
little
why.
way. Go
People
on.
need company at times like this.
Yeah.
And should be able to look to us for both factual information and emotional reaction.
Sure.
We simply have to change our tone and our playlist to show that we're all feeling the same thing.
Right.
Be it, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, or, well, it's pretty sad, but she was 101 after all.
And that's actually in that
That's
document,
what it
isn't
actually says in the general guidelines. That's as they are stated. If you should hear about the death of a major royal,
Yeah.
this is information that...
You're actually reading this, by the way,
Yeah,
aren't
I'm
you?
reading this
Yeah.
out. What you should do is say nothing about this on air under any circumstances. Drop all the ads and promos from your schedule. And if Chris Smith, the news guy, is in the building, get him in the studio immediately.
Yeah.
That's what it says, Carl.
Yeah.
If Smitty is, I don't care where he is, I don't care if he's on holiday,
Let's phone him up now
abroad.
and tell him someone's died.
to see how he would react. Get him down there.
Get him down
See how long
yeah.
it takes him to get down here. Where does Smitty live?
Because I know where he lives. He lives in a cave, and he slides down a pole, and he gets into a car. His butler is up there, and he sorts things out.
I suppose the approach there is that only Chris can deliver this tragic news.
Yeah.
If it was you or I,
Yeah, it wouldn't have the same. I remember. Do you remember the XFM as it first started? It launched the day after Princess Diana died.
I know.
And I'd never done radio before. I was nervous enough, and it was launched, and it was how.
Because was it the first night? Because what I've forgotten actually until you mentioned that then is of course you used to host your own phone-in show.
God.
I'd forgotten all about that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I gave that up after a week because it was just too stressful.
I have never seen a man so petrified.
I know.
He spent all his time preventing people getting through on the phone lines.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't let people come on air.
And for when I had to go on air, right, my mates sort of like came over the first day, and they were mucking around, and I was having a drink with them where I used to work, and I was going, I've got to go on air in a minute, and I was like, drinking shandy or something, because I was saying I didn't want to be drunk, and I kept saying, don't swear. Telling my mates not to swear, and they look at me like I was mental. I was going, don't swear, because I'll swear. I was terrified of two things. Just swearing, and operating the desk. I thought, I'm gonna, even if I get through operating the desk, I'm gonna swear. And it just, it was awful.
Didn't you spill coffee over the machine and then go, oh shit, on your first link? I can't remember. But I know it wasn't a triumph.
No, I started off with I was really like the music, and I started off with a classical piece by a bloke called Kuntz, who's a German composer.
Brilliant.
So I knew it was okay.
You're
then.
off.
I was off, yeah.
And so how did it go then? Because I remember it was appalling.
Carl! He's a composer! Look it up!
Yeah, I know he is.
Right, 08700 800 1234.
Yeah.
If you know what the composer I'm talking. What?
Yeah, we've done it now.
Chill out, Carl.
Come on.
You know what people are like?
What?
They take things badly, don't they?
Like who? Like what?
You just, it's like a bull to a red rag, whatever.
Yeah, but the thing is that we say bad words and we get in trouble. But I was listening to Heart the other day, and they played Luther Vandross, and that song, was it Never Too Much, Never Too Much? Play a little bit. The lyric in this is disgusting.
Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started.
Hear that? Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started. That's filthy. Play it again.
Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started.
That is
just
depraved.
filthy. What a filth.
What is he doing?
Just saying like that. Imagine that. He's got a young girl's picture, and he's going, oh, thanks for that. And he phones her and goes, what did it say? You know that picture you gave me? She goes, yeah. He goes, well, I looked at it just to get me started. That poor young woman must...
I imagine more that, like, she's sleeping, and he just sneaks in and he's got a Polaroid camera, she wakes up, he goes, what are you doing? She goes, what are you up to? He goes, no, I'm just taking a picture. Well, why? I'm gonna...
you won't be here tomorrow, will you?
Yeah, you're going on holiday tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I need
I
that.
just need something to get me started. What do you mean, get you started? Yeah, you know, in the morning.
And then that's on Heart.
Alright?
6.2.
So don't come on air and tell us what we can and cannot say, and we can't say
classical composers' names, or philosophers like Kant.
Exactly.
So don't tell us that, Carl.
Alright?
Just play a record. What you got, Steve?
Some rides, Steve.
Yeah, I just think it's time that we listen to some Ride Rit. We haven't listened to them, I don't know about you and I, but I haven't listened to any for about 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
Just thought it'd be good to have them on the air again. Yeah. And it's a tragedy they split up. This is the classic Chelsea girl, play it. Absolute girl. Their lifetime.
I know, yeah.
Right,
But
it's a great sound.
But influenced lots of bands at that
seems to
time.
be, yeah,
Sort of the old Britpop thing and the Wall of Sound and... They weren't... Were they shoegazers? Do you think they were, weren't they?
Well, that's what they thought of, because there was a lot of noodly guitar. But good melodies as well, Rick, and that's always important.
It is to me.
I don't know about you, Carl, but it is important to us.
Yeah. We've just had a couple of people, Sarah and Claire, call up and wish us luck for the BAFTAs, but for some reason they want one of us to do an impression of Leslie Phillips.
Can't do it.
Doesn't
he say ding dong?
And hello and all that.
That's not bad.
But I want Carl to do it though.
Yeah, go on, Carl.
Go on.
Hello.
Well done. Say ding dong.
Ding dong.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you do any other impressions?
No. I can't think of any.
Hello. Do that.
Hello.
Yeah, you look like a ventriloquist dummy.
Hello.
Brilliant.
Oh, God.
Do, my name is Bond, James Bond, as though it were Sean
My name's
Connery.
Bond. James Bond. Do that. Go on.
My name's Bond.
No, do it as though you were doing an impression.
Sean.
So I'm trying to be Scottish.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, sort of.
Perhaps a bit more specific than that. Sean Connery.
My name's Bond.
Keep going.
My name's Bond, James Bond.
Look, Jimmy Stewart. It's not like this. This is the best fun. It's like having your very own Fisher Price toy for 2 hours a week. It's great. Do Roger Moore. Do that.
Roger Moore.
Phyllis Pierce, Percy Sugden. I'm licensed to kill.
Anyway, she just said...
No, this is a great game.
No, that's enough of that.
We'll come back to this another time.
Yeah, anything you want Carl to do. Carl's homework today was come up with those, you know, those lateral thinking things.
Go on.
Those stupid.
Oh, I hate
They're
them.
ridiculous, aren't they? A man went into a field and died, and you're meant to ask questions like, "Oh, was it?" And it turns out his parachute didn't open. So it's basically, it's not logic. It's what am I thinking?
Yeah. Well, there's that one where there's a man in... This is the worst I've ever heard.
Yeah.
A man is found dead lying in a phone box, right? His wrists are cut. He's bled to death, and there's glass everywhere,
Yeah.
right? And the phone's hanging off the hook, right?
Yeah.
What happened to him,
I know this. Yeah.
right? Do you know what the answer is, Carl?
It's ridiculous.
He was a fisherman.
Yeah.
He was on the phone. Someone asked him how big his fish was. He did that gesture like fishermen always do to say it was much bigger than it actually
Put
was.
his arms out.
His arms went through the glass, and he slashed his wrists, and he died.
Why would you do that with someone on the phone when they can't see how big you're actually saying?
Well, that's one of the many problems with that, that conundrum.
Yeah. Not the point we were making, but again, good. I mean, you're there. That is good thinking.
Yeah.